Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. Yeah, 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 baby. Hey, yo, shout out to my man Trader Geo in the house. All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday. Man, I never know what day it is, guys. Grab yourself a nice cold beverage. All right, crack it on open. Take a big old sip. There's nothing I love more than a fresh bottle, a transparent bottle of, liquid. Blessings to everybody. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah, I pray you and your family are super blessed on this beautiful 2026. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin today, guys. Major shout out to everybody in the chat. Guys, make sure to smash up the likes. If we get 1,000 likes from the first half hour, we will be giving away 1,000 US dollars in Tether. Guys, we're in some positions today. First of all, the short setup still open, obviously, given from the exact top in the Casper crew. Long setup in juicy profits right now, all right? Given also in real time in the Casper crew on the 22nd of December. All right, now I'm in a few positions, as you can see. I'm long on Bitcoin, long on Bitcoin, long on Bitcoin, baby. Right now we're up in our longs about $10,000 unrealized and about only 3,000 realized. And the question is, and what we've been talking about, and what the title of the video says is this the big pump? Right? Is it pump time, baby? All right, talk about that juicy thumbnail action. Man, this is some juicy thumbnail action. All right, the thumbnail should have been more like this, I think. All right, this should have been the thumbnail. Is it pump time action? All right. Major shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got to give a major shout out to my man, Preparing for War. God bless you, bro. Thank you so much for the blessings. Shout out to Baru. He says it's time for a pump. Fed repo injected with 100 billion. What happened to the 40 per month question mark celebration? Shout out to Silent Cracks. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. We need a pump song. Yes, we do. We do need a pump song, Silent Cracks. Shout out to Nightlife Ent. May I ask why Jason don't use Binance? Man, Binance don't use Jason. Let's put it that way. I used to use Binance. Shout out to Preparing for War. I'd rather see the corn take all the liquidity below 88.6.3 before all this. But Body Blue raised arms. Shout out to Andrew Cameroon. Bounce underway, baby. Shout out to Daryl Oofton. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to Tina D6812. Shout out to Drumhop TV in the house. Shout out to Brother Nature Joe. He says, talk to me bullish, baby. I'll whisper those bullish things into your ear, for sure. Shout out to the Clip Cult. May the Lord God protect us from the Great Reset. May the Lord God protect us no matter what happens. Shout out to Preparing For. He says, may the Lord God bless us and prepare us. Big things going to happen this year. Shout out to everyone who prefers the winter over the summer. I prefer the summer way over the winter. I hate the winter so much that I would literally rather uproot my whole life and go somewhere very far away outside of the country to where it's always the summer than go through a winter, to be honest with you. Shout out to my man, Not Quicker. Mic check is good, baby. Shogun Crypto in the house. Red Elephant in the house. Govern Fool says, word up, word up. Word, baby. Word. Do I think Zcash is dead, dumping like never tomorrow, everything's pumping? I haven't really looked at Zcash in a while, to be honest with you. I haven't really looked at the charts in a while, guys. You know, but yeah. All right, guys, let's pop into the action. I have to remind you, if you want to trade with the lowest fees, KCEX is the way to go. All right, K to the sex, baby. That is the way to go. 0% limit, 0.1% market. Also trading on WEEX. Also trading on BLOFIN and good old ZoomX. Also, guys, if you want to join the crew where we get the setups in advance, go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the VIP Discord, baby. Now, let's pop right into it. We do have some interesting things. First of all, this is a few days old, but Bitwise files for 11 new crypto ETFs tracking Ensor, Tron, and others. I don't even know how to say that, to be honest with you. I have no idea how to say that. But what's going on is Bitwise submitted plans to the SEC for 11 new crypto ETFs tied to very popular tokens beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. Basically, if this is approved, it would give U.S. investors regulated ETF access to a wider set of digital assets. This is bullish for crypto, man, just in general, right? This is bullish for crypto in general. They're being filed as strategy funds, meaning they could hold the underlying crypto directly and invest in related ETF products or derivatives rather than being pure spot ETFs. So it's interesting. They're not necessarily having to hold on spot. It could be derivatives. This could inject lots of volatility into the markets as we move into 2026 if they are approved. Bitcoin set for first yearly loss. Now, obviously, this is December 31st, but it's now officially happened. Bitcoin has seen its first yearly loss since 2022 as macro trends weigh on crypto. So basically what happened after soaring very high in early 2025 because Trump was our Bitcoin guy, Bitcoin sharply fell after tariff and export control news triggered massive liquidations. Actually, it's crazy. Over $19 billion of leveraged positions were liquidated. This is the largest ever in history. The drop in October 10th, was one of the biggest monthly declines since mid-2021, showing slowing momentum. Now, according to this article, the analyst is saying in 2025, Bitcoin behaved more like a traditional risk asset, moving in correlation with US stocks and broader financial trends rather than acting independently. I don't know if I quite agree with that, but that's what they're saying in this article. But basically, to sum everything up, this article is saying Bitcoin started to behave more like a normal asset, and maybe we shouldn't expect the big old booms and busts, but more of just slow and steady wins the race. I don't know. I think we have yet to see that as we continue into the year in 2026. Can you guys believe it's 2026? That is pretty wild. Look at Bitcoin right now on the 12-minute chart, guys. The question is, are we seeing the pump that we've been waiting for? And why are we waiting for a pump in the first place? Why are we waiting for a pump? Well, let's start on our weekly time frame. We have confirmed back in December a big weekly, big old market Cipher B greened out on the weekly. And we know this means the probabilities are upside, at least a few weeks of upside. Now, we're consolidating here. We're just consolidating. Now, I want you to notice what typically happens during these phases of green dot printing. All right, look at this. The green dot prints in the midst of consolidation, right? In the midst of consolidation. In the midst of consolidación. All right? El consolidación en español. Even down here, consolidación. Mucho consolidación. Consolidation. 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 This is normal. But what else is normal? Well, the green dot inevitably leads to a move to the upside. Back here, you know, this was the first green dot of the bear market. Now, if we're entering into a bear market, I just want to point out that, yeah, green dot still means move to the upside. However, not as much, right? In this case, what happened when the green dot prints? We come up to the top of the local range before dump. So that means I'm looking right now to at least come up to the top of the local range, which is going to be bringing us up to around the $96,000 level, right? The top of this little range here. The support resistance flip going all the way back to November 2024. I think it's very possible. We're looking at the yellow oscillator here on Market Cipher B, and what are we seeing? It's continuing to hold above the 0 line. One more thing about these weekly green dots is this, guys. If the bottom is not in yet, the next drop will be a fake out before a rise to the upside. Prime example, you can go back and back test this for yourself. Prime example is this. We confirm the green dot right here on this candle, right? We go for the low again, but it was a fake out, right? So if we go for the low again, it will be a fake out. So it will be very interesting to see, are we going to go for liquidity, maybe all the way down at 80,005, or are we not even going to go for that liquidity? Are we just going to break out of this? We also know we are forming right now a bit of a triangle, right? A bit of a triangle, which means this is going to break sooner rather than later, right? We have been squeezing together right now for about 49 days, all right? This thing is going to break. Now, as we speak right now, Bitcoin is attempting to break out of these local highs that we've been forming here since December 13th. Can you guys believe that? Since December 13th, guys, this is how unvolatile Bitcoin has been. It's crazy, right? This is how unvolatile Bitcoin's been. But since December 13th, we're attempting to break the highs. We're currently experiencing a little bit of resistance here at resistance, hence the short trade that I'm in here, right? Because we are coming up to this resistance here, and yeah, we do have some slight bear divs on the lower time frames. We've got some confirmed 12-minute bearish divergence here. The 24-minute, we've got some bearish divergence coming on in. Does look like we could see a little bit more downside movement, but when we look at our 4-hour, overall, I'd say I think there's room for upside here. When we look at our daily, I feel like there's room for upside here. When we look at our 3-day, I feel like there's room for upside here. Look at that yellow oscillator. Look at the RSIs on the 3-day, guys. The RSIs on the 3-day are showing like a bottom is very near. You know, when the RSIs touched like that, like there's one RSI. Man, when was the last time that even happened? It's been a while. It's been a long while. The last time we saw that was a long time ago. Wow. It was actually... No way. No way. It was the COVID crash. No way. That's the last time we saw these RSIs touched like that. So very interesting. Very, very interesting stuff. And of course, our weekly has the green dot. Our 2-weekly, looking like we want to get that green dot. Now, again, the way I'm looking at this market right now, guys, is, you know, I have to assume, based on our 2-month time frame, that a very significant high has been put in. We have a bearish divergence confirmed, which historically has been the top. So I'm expecting this weekly green dot to give us some kind of relief. I'm expecting us to break out of this range right here, whether we go for the liquidity first or not, and then come up to at least the $96,000, $97,000 zone, where, of course, if we reclaim 97K, that's going to be huge, because that's going to allow us to get the move up to, you know, 113 value area high. But you can see $96,000 is the point of control, the high volume node of the entirety of this range since Trump won the election. So this is the high volume node of all of 2025 right now. It's probably our naked yearly point of control. It's our naked yearly point of control. Let's go ahead and just see for a second. Can I look at the yearly point of controls on this chart? Yeah. Let's see. What's that? Yeah. Okay. According to this, the naked yearly point of control is up there at 103. That's going to be an important level. So it's a little bit more than the year. It includes the first 2 months of 2024 as well. But it's still a very important high volume node at $97,000. It's not quite the year from January to January, but it does include little bits of 2024 in there as well. But if we can reclaim that level, then yeah, there's no reason why we can't pump up to the top of that range, which is going to be coming in at around, you know, 113. So first, 96,000, very important. Then I would say 103 is very important as well. And then we're looking towards that 113. And we have to assume, because we've printed a pretty bearish signal up here, that we should be expecting a lower high, right? We should be expecting a lower high because we don't want to be caught off guard, right? But is there a chance that the bull market continues? Is there a chance that because the bull market was so underwhelming, and because there was really no hype, there was no altcoin season, is there a chance we just continue pumping? Is there a chance that even though we've broken down from the trend line of the entirety of the bull market, going all the way back to November 2022, when Sam Bankman-Fried Chicken got caught with his pants down in the Bahamas and caused, you know, this last big dump? You know, is there a chance that this is just a fake out below the trend line and we pump? Is there a chance that this weekly green dot, this very oversold weekly green dot that we only see at the bottom, is once again the bottom? I mean, is there a chance? Look, there is a chance, guys. I think it's a very small chance, but there's always a chance. All right, it's like from that movie Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance? There's a chance. All right, there is a chance. Now, I think it's important that to keep our heads on straight, the way we approach this is we expect a rejection from this area, or from this area, or from this area, but be happy if there's not, right? Expect the worst, prepare for the worst, so that whatever happens is good, right? You know, like, here's the thing. Some people, they go through life, they're always expecting the best outcome, and those people are always disappointed. Then, and this is my approach, expect the worst outcome. And then when something good happens, you know, you're happy about it. HBBBA4817, he says, what a lot of BS. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for popping on in. And yeah, this is all 100% BS, man. Like, all of this is total BS. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's the cool thing about the internet. You can just pretend to know stuff, and people will listen, you know? So, I hope you find another channel out there that has the same BS as everybody else. Now, when I say BS, do you know what I really mean? I mean bountiful silliness. This channel is full of bountiful silliness. So yeah, these are really the main levels I'm looking for. All right, I'm hoping to hold the long trades. You know, assuming that we're gonna break out, like this long trade that we took on the 15th of December, and this long trade that we took on the 22nd of December. I'm hoping to hold these guys in the event of the breakout. All right, so we will see what happens. We've got our fibs pulled here. These are going to be some targets to the upside. We come back over to the chart. And let's go to the 1 hour. All right. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's do some local analysis here. Let's go ahead and put on a array. Right here. Yeah. Okay. So you can see we've taken some serious liquidity here since December 13th. Money flow looks really nice on the 1 hour. I feel like this is not going to result in a... I feel like this could just result in a higher low. Let's go ahead and pull a local fib from this last low on the 18th. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Check this out. Wow, we front ran that golden pocket. I'm just curious here. I'm going to take a look at the volume of the range. This local range. Man. All right, so if we get a little bit of a move down right now, our first place that we land is going to be the value area high of the range. All right, so 89.3 is right now very key support. 89.3, that is the value area high of this range. So if this is a real breakout, we could come back and test this area right here. Come right back down to the orange line, 88.3, and get a bounce. Other than that, I'd say we're probably gonna, if we continue down from here, 87.7 to 87.9 is going to be our next major support. And then, of course, the golden pocket and the value area low. So really, if we're looking for a long right now, assuming that these high time frames are going to play out, these are the three places I would look. Now, we did just take some liquidity from these highs with some low time frame bearish divergence. So there is some chance that we see within the next few hours some downside, especially if this 24-minute red dot confirms. It hasn't even printed yet, but if we get a 24-minute red dot right here, we have to say, all right, the money flow, the momentum is getting lower after we've taken liquidity from the top of the range, which means we should be looking for a move down to one of these supports to then look for a bounce. And the bounce that we're looking for is based on the higher time frames that are showing us some bullishness here, right? 1 hour money flow, 1 hour no divergences, all that kind of stuff, right? All that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at the order flow. Let's take a look at the order flow. Wow, interesting. Wow, we had some pretty bullish CBD forming here, guys. We had some pretty bullish CBD forming here, and then we just took those lows this morning. Wow, boom. And we are seeing locally some more bullish CBD forming. Guys, we've got bullish CBD. This whole thing here is characterized by bullish CBD. We are seeing bigger players absorbing shorts here. Very interesting. This is adding to the idea that if we get these lower time frame divergences, that we're going to get a higher low and we're going to get a bounce. Maybe, and obviously we don't even have to come down that low, but it would be nice. 89.3 is nice. 88K is nice, and of course, 86.8 is also going to be pretty nice. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's a new year, all right? It's a new year. And what does that mean? It means, because it's a new year, we all have New Year resolutions, all right? My New Year resolution is to finally start exercising and go to the gym. I finally want to get in shape. I want to get rid of the dad bod. I want to get rid of the beer gut. No more beer for me. No more ice cream at 3 in the morning for me. All right. COVID-19 is gay. Yeah, I heard that too. I heard COVID-19 actually had a gay lover and was exposed for it. No mask. They weren't. COVID-19 was not even wearing a mask. Let's see. Why are we talking about COVID-19 in here? I don't know. But guys, New Year's resolution. All right. Because the egg code today is resolution. All right. The egg code today is resolution. Eggs are the Discord currency. All right. The Discord currency. So if you want to win prizes where we have giveaways every single week, where we're giving away money, and all that kind of stuff, you need eggs. And the way you get eggs is by going into the Discord, paid and free Discord, right? Going to quests, the quests channel, and typing in the code. And today, the code is resolution, all right? Now, go type in resolution in the Discord, get your eggs. Obviously, if you're VIP, you get 5 times more eggs every single day. In here, guys, we're doing the egg drops. All right, egg drops every day. You can claim your eggs. Claim your VIP eggs, baby. All right. Just got 10 eggs. And of course, our prizes that we have every single week. All these giveaways and all this stuff. Check it out. Discord. JasonCasperTrading.com. All that good stuff. All right. But let me know in the chat, what is your New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? No giveaway today. We did a giveaway yesterday. Spot buyers coming in heavy while bears keep opening credit lines to short. All right. Red Elephant wants to lose 170 pounds. I'm thinking I want to lose about the same, 170 pounds. To get down to a nice lean 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? A nice lean 30. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lean down to a nice lean 30 pounds. All right. That'll be good. So yeah, the egg code is resolution. Shout out to Sky PNYKA. Thank you for supporting me in my New Year's resolution. Your New Year's resolution is 720p. Nice, nice. Get better at wrestling. That's a good one. Learn a handstand, says Mr. Lotex. That's awesome. Make back the money I lost. Hit 30K incline dumbbell press and 100K bench press. Sounds cool, but as an American, that means nothing to me. You know? I'm sure it's a lot of pounds, bro. Shout out to Luminosa to watch Jason Casper lives every day while I wear a weighted vest. That's what's up. You want to become more dangerous this year. Make Me a Mill wants to see a noob at the gym. Put one hand under the bench whilst pulling pin to lower it. Oh no, you actually saw it. This is not his resolution. He saw it. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Make Me a Millie. One of the January gym goers crushed their hand, so that's one less person hogging the bench press during the New Year's resolution, you know. Shout out to Anthony Lee Crypto. He used the pig nipple in strategy today with the folks and used the pig nipples. That's cool, man. Awesome. I'm glad it worked out. Shout out to Anthony Lee Crypto Your New Year's resolution is to meet 6 Juanita. That's what's up. Any goals for this year? I'm never the type to have New Year's resolution goals, to be honest. Shout out to Yarbrook. His resolution is to be more grateful. You're blessed and miss the forest for the trees at times. I feel like that should be all of ours. All right, that should be all of our resolutions, to be more grateful. Shout out to Felix to pass the Klein funding challenge. And Newbie Crypto wants to replace a full-time job with trading. You can do it. I know you can for sure. Vegas Claw wants to have his peanuts enlarged this year. I think you can do it now with the CRISPR-Cas9 technology for the peanut plant as you're growing it. It's actually a legume. People don't know peanuts are legumes. But yeah, the January gym goers. Look, guys, I'll tell you something about the January gym. What you really need to do is get a home gym. All right, that's what you really need to do. Home gyms are the way to go. I love me some home gyms. All right, let's take a look at some other assets here. First of all, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance. We will go to the weekly. Okay, so look, we've got Bitcoin dominance coming down so far on the week, continuing in this downtrend here. I consider that this is definitely a downtrend for Bitcoin. That means if we are going to see Bitcoin rally, it will open up the door for some serious altcoin gains, so long as we are seeing altcoin dominance continue to rise. So let's take a look at altcoin dominance. Look at this, guys. Altcoin dominance is bouncing from the support once again. We're about $860 billion on the week. We are green. We're printing a green dot. Now, if Bitcoin can get the rally, and this continues, I think we could at least see a back test of our trend line here. That's going to be around, you know, let's say just under $1 trillion. Just under $1 trillion altcoin market cap, which, you know, that's going to see us some serious gains in the altcoins, right? That could really see us some serious gains in the altcoins. If the money is coming into crypto and Bitcoin is getting a relief rally and Bitcoin dominance is coming down, meaning that money going into crypto, it's enough to keep Bitcoin going up steadily and not crashing, but the Bitcoin dominance is going down. That means the money is moving into altcoins. And we could see this market cap for the alts come up to just under $1 trillion. All right. Now, again, the reason why I'm looking for moves to the upside on all this stuff is for the same reason I've been looking for a move to the upside for the last 3 weeks, guys, which is these really big bottom signals on the weekly time frame, which even in very bearish scenarios mean moves to the upside. Let's take a look at altcoin dominance. Weekly green dots. Last time, April 2025. Guess what happened? Altcoins pumped. We saw a lot of altcoins reach new all-time highs. Time before that, August 2024. Big old pump. This was a big altcoin season. Trump wins the election. You know, obviously the fall, you know, November 2024. Big altcoin pump. Even if we're going to head into a bear market, I'd say we should still expect a bit of a move to the upside with a weekly bottom. Now, of course, this is not going to confirm for another 2 days. All right, so we got another 2 days in the week. I guess today's Friday. It feels like a Monday to me for some reason, but today is Friday. All right, let's take a look at the USDT dominance here. Wow, this is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. Look, USDT dominance rejecting from the trend line resistance. These are all the ingredients for the altcoin gains cake that could be made here. All right, these are all the ingredients for the altcoin gains cake that could be made here. All right. Been watching that. All right. We'll take a look at some other assets too. Shout out to Probably on Tilt. This year I will make God my #1 priority. We all got to do that every single day, right? We all got to do that every single day. Shout out to Eddie. He says you can get Jason out of metalcore, but you can't get the metalcore out of Jason. That's probably true. I do like metalcore. You know, I have a little thing in my heart for the metalcore. All right. Short squeeze right into bull trap, aka a rally. Yeah, for sure, right? NY pumping on a Friday. NY pumping on a Friday. Yeah, those January gym goers, you got to get a home gym. This is looking good. Ingredients for a little bit of a pump. Let's check out Ethereum. All right, so look at ETH, guys. Look at ETH. Again, ETH also, when you get the green dot, it means the low is either in or the next low is going to be a fake out. And we are trading the sideways range. And honestly, look at this. We made a low. We made a high. We made a higher low right into the Fibonacci 786. And now we're attempting to close a bullish engulfing on the weekly. We're seeing altcoin dominance rise, Bitcoin dominance dump, USDT dominance dump. You know, we could see ETH make another higher high, take out 3,500. Honestly, I'd be targeting around $4,000 by February. I think we need that relief before we can see more downside, guys. All right. Also, let's check out the ETH versus Bitcoin chart. It's also looking good. All right. Wow, look at this, guys. All right, again, let's zoom out here. Let's just remember the context. The context is we have just spent the last 4 years in this disgusting, gross, falling slump pattern, right? We've bounced from the value area low. We've had a big impulse above the high volume node. We've back tested it to the dollar. And look at the money flow and the momentum waves here. We're actually now printing another green dot here. This is Bitcoin performance. I'm sorry, this is ETH performance against Bitcoin right now, right? ETH performing against Bitcoin. It looks like ETH is ready to really outperform Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is going to be getting a bounce, going up to 96, maybe higher, ETH could really outperform Bitcoin. All right, maybe we could see ETH outperform Bitcoin, a conservative percentage right now. I'd say it would be the value area high. ETH outperforming Bitcoin by 55%. A more liberal, liberal estimation here would be, maybe we outperform it by coming back to the highs, 150%, or the golden pocket 786 around 100%, right? We could see it. ETH right now on the weekly against the dollar, printing that nice dot. Lots of liquidity here to get squeezed. All right, let's check out Solana. Solana also now printing the green dot. And technically speaking, Solana is printing. Nah, I'm sorry. I thought that was a hidden bull dip. It's not. It's still a weekly green dot. Nothing to take lightly. We can't take these oversold weekly dots lightly, guys. All right. And I know it's difficult to feel optimistic when we've just had the last 4 months of straight down, and then the last month and a half of literally nothing, right? Literally nothing. It's easy to forget how fast and volatile crypto can move. But look, this is looking nice, right? We're back down to back test the support. We've got a green dot of printing here. And again, go and look at these green dots on Solana. When they confirm, it means in all of these cases, pretty much, either the low is in or the low is about to be in. Yeah, so very interesting stuff for Sol. Let's check out Sol against Bitcoin. Wow, look at Solana against Bitcoin right now, guys. We have gotten a nice bottom here, a nice bullish divergence, very nice bullish divergence at the low. We've changed market structure. We come down into the 786, 886 pocket with a trigger wave continuation pattern. Man, am I crazy? Guys, I'm going to actually take a poll. I'm going to take a poll. Is it pump time? 66% say yes. Let's take another poll. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for feeling bullish on these assets? I spelled assets wrong. It's really hard to type while you walk. All right. It's hard to type while you walk. I got one of these things. All right. And let me tell you guys, this is not the one I usually use. The one I usually use is bigger. And so this one, the buttons are in different spots. And the actual MacBook that I use, it's from Israel. Okay, so the keyboard's a little bit different on my actual MacBook than an American one. And so my brain just doesn't know where to go with the buttons. You're walking, you're swaying, got a new keyboard. Your MacBook keyboard has different buttons. You don't know what to push. But let me know. All right. Let me know. Am I crazy for feeling bullish on the assets? Most people say no. And by most, I mean it's almost 50-50. It's exactly 50-50. Oh no. Now people say yes. All right. Look, it's hard to be ultra bearish right now when you have like these insane signals, right? These are really bottomed out signals here. And we're not just talking in isolation, right? We're talking Bitcoin dominance, altcoin dominance, USDT dominance. Then we're looking at the assets in light of what Bitcoin is doing. We're looking at the assets, printing some pretty significant bottoms, looking pretty squeezable. And then we're looking at the Bitcoin pair saying, man, Bitcoin looks like it's going to get some rallies. And these altcoins look like they're really going to outperform Bitcoin in these rallies. You know, I'm curious because let's just take a look at like the previous bear market pump that we got in January 2022. Very similar. Guys, remember, November 2021, that was the top. All right, then the new year came. We got some nice rally, right? We got about a 40% rally on Bitcoin, right? About a 45% rally in January. What did ETH do? Just curious. What did ETH do in January 2021? I'm sorry, 2022. What did ETH do? ETH ended up, Bitcoin went up 45%. ETH was up 68%. Okay, that's not too much more. Let's see what Solana did. What did Solana do? Solana dumped. Solana dumped as Bitcoin and ETH were pumping. So let's check out some other things. Let's check out, what did Cardano do? Let's go back. January 2022. Yeah, we dumped as well. So I don't know. I don't know about the past. I'm just curious. Let's check out Chainlink. What did Chainlink do? Dumped, man. Dumped like a wild lady. Interesting. So Bitcoin pumped and all these other coins dumped. That's interesting. Well, these charts are looking like things want to rally. So I guess time will tell. And then we'll all find out if Jason Casper's an idiot or not. All right. Jason Casper has a lot of horses in this race. All right. He's bearish. He's bullish. He's bullish. He's bearish. He's not buying Bitcoin until under 70, but he's bullish. He's long. You know, dude's a moron. Honestly, dude is a moron. And if you want to be a moron too, I have a free trading course. All right. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out the free trading course under playlists. All right. Free trading course by Jason Casper, 18-part series. Which will teach you how to trade like a moron as well. I highly recommend you check out the risk management section. I highly recommend you check out the how to manage open trades section. This one will really teach you how to trade like an idiot, because this will teach you why and how I can be bearish and bullish and long and short and all this stuff. How to view the market in more than just a one-dimensional lens, right? How to have a high time frame bias and a medium time frame bias and a low time frame bias and a day trade bias and a scalp bias, to position yourself in a way that's going to get you the most profit from the market, all while using good risk management, right? Because price never moves straight up or straight down, right? It goes up a little, down a little, zigging and zagging, all right? I mean, we've been short since the exact top, but we've taken a lot of long trades along the way down. And in the bull market, we were long from the exact bottom. We took a lot of short trades on the way up, if you know what I'm saying. All right. Shout out to the super chats in the house. We got to give a major shout out to Marcuso. I'm sorry, not Marcuso. Yeah, Marcuso. I'm sorry, it's so hard to read these YouTube names now. Marcos Cavallaro. He says, have a look at AAVE, please. Yeah, we will. Shout out to Crypto Scarface. Most of the coins are at the bottom. It's pump time. Yeah, right? You know, I feel you. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Let's look at AAVE for our super chat. All right. Let's just clear everything off here. So I'm not feeling the weekly. I'm not feeling the monthly. Let's go to the 4-day. The 4-day does have some nice looking bullish divergence there. Let's pull the local range. Okay, so we're at value area low. We have some local bullish divergence here. I'd say, you know, look. The weekly's freaking me out a little bit here. The 4-day gives me hope. The 3-day definitely gives me hope. The money flow doesn't look so good on the 3-day. The 2-day's decent. The daily looks nice with the money. It's hard to say, okay? But here's what I would say. Right now, if you want a setup on AAVE, I would say this. An obvious, clear setup would be this, right? We've got ourselves our range low, we've got ourselves our range high. Look for us to come and take out the range high and then get a back test. The back test should take us down into this zone right here between the golden pocket and the 886. And this is where you look to get in. And the stop loss goes below the low. And then target one needs to be POC, which is not the best risk to reward. So really, I would say then what we could do is pull the fib, high to low, and make target one up at the golden pocket, which is a 4-to-1, a pretty nice, decent take profit one, and then hold the rest in case of massive squeeze, because this does look very squeezable, right? This does look very squeezable. In fact, if we reclaim that POC, right, then we have just broken out of this trend line. Kind of a bumpy and runny pattern-ish, right? Not quite. But we could target up to $300, but it's very speculative right now. You know, it's very speculative right now. This low does look nice on the daily. So if you want to get in now, this is definitely not financial advice, but the trade idea right now would be this. The trade idea would be the low is in because of the liquidity grab and the bullish divergences, right? And then we would target, we would have to target some kind of fib level for a TP1. Let's go ahead and do this. Just curious. Yeah, maybe something like this, honestly, right now, that's a pretty good risk to reward. That value area low is going to give us not even a 4-to-1. I like for swing trades where TP1 is like a 4-to-1 at least, right? In this instance, the 4-to-1 would be $212, which would be a change of market structure. So if we're already changing market structure, I'd rather wait until we come up a bit higher, maybe. But yeah, the actual nice setup would be if we change the structure locally, right? Meaning we make a new high higher than 160, and then we come down and we, you know, load up in that pocket for the back test and then get in, right? So it'd be something similar to like this. The difference between getting in now and waiting for something like that is waiting for something like that gives you more confirmation. Gives you more confirmation that the trend is reversing. Because right now, there's no real sign of strength. We haven't even made a higher high at all, right? There's nothing. There's nothing to say the trend is changing. But we do have some nice divs at the low. The loo. I've got to go to the loo. All right. You've got to go to the loo. Let's see. I like when you do TA outside of Market Cipher. I mean, I pretty much don't do Market Cipher TA, but I do use Market Cipher in order to get into the trades, right? Follow the money, people. TA makes no sense at all. You're right. TA doesn't make any sense. Doesn't work. You know? Shout out to Make Me a Millie. God bless you, my man. Happy New Year. God bless you and the fam. Dogecoin is waking up? Really? Let's check out Dogecoin. Dogecoin. Whoa, baby! Oh, baby. Oh, baby. My goodness. Wow. Look at Dogecoin. Man. Wow. Look at the Doginator. All right. So basically, like, the Doginator, you know, the chart doesn't look so great in general, like, as far as market Cipher goes, but in general, we're saying, look, the upside potential to $1 is good compared to the downside potential here, right? That's what this setup is. It's not necessarily a trade entry as much as just showing the risk reward, so long as we don't take the lows from 2022, and assuming Doge will hit $1, which I think it will, which is the target of the cup and handle, right? That's the target of our cup and handle. It looks dumb on log scale, but this green trend line up here is the target of our cup and handle breakout, which would put us around $1. So yeah, I'd say that we are bouncing from value area low, confluence with this trend line. Do we see any bullish div? Not necessarily. Maybe you could classify this as a hidden bullish div on the weekly. Let's check out the daily. The daily did give us some nice bullish div at the lows. Okay. And this is finally a sign of strength. All right. This is what we kind of want to see on what we're looking at, AAVE. Right. We have officially now made a local higher high now. It's nothing to write home about yet, but assuming that this is the local range here, I mean, really, this whole way down, we have not been able to do anything like that, right? We have not been able to do anything like that. This is a big change, right? We have not seen a daily candle come above that level before. So if we can close the candle above these previous weekly candle bodies at 13 cents, yeah, that's a real sign of strength. Nice bullish engulfing on the daily from yesterday's close. And if we were looking for an entry now, we would look for basically a back test, right? Come back down to the trend line, the golden pocket, and look for continuation. You know, that's what we'd have to do. Obviously, it's never a good idea to go long, especially on leverage after 20% pump, right? That could easily get you liquidated. But yeah, this is a local sign of strength here on Doge, and we do have some nice local bull divs. So I'd say, yeah, why not look for the long on the retest? Preparing for us as Doge is dead. It seems dead, right? But it's Doge, all right? And if there's one thing I've learned about Doge, it's when you think she's dead, she's still got another leg up, all right? There's nothing like clear water, you know? Clear water, that's what I love. Shout out to JVD Beak. Says, best wishes, Jason. May God bless you. Yeah, my New Year's resolution, guys, is to get in shape. I've got to get in shape. Stopping with the processed foods. Stopping with the beers late at night. All right? Stopping with the soda. Stopping with the cakes and the ice creams. All right, gonna hit the gym. Gonna start doing cardio. All right, just nothing crazy, just walking on the treadmill. You know, maybe hit the weights, you know, 2 to 4 times a week. What water is this? This is my favorite water that I drink if I don't have access to well water. It's called the Mountain Valley Spring Water, bottled in the Wichita Mountains in the United States. It's got calcium, magnesium, potassium, and 7.7 pH. So, I don't know, it sounds that way. You know? They'll market water, you know? You can get it for free everywhere. It's underground if you dig, but no, we'll put it in a bottle and sell it to you. And I'm stupid enough to buy it. What an idiot I am. By the way, those minerals are not added. It's just the water has those minerals, apparently. Apparently, the water has those minerals. It knows the percentage of minerals in the water somehow. I guess it's uniform. Is it homogenized water? I don't know. Shout out to Preparing for War. He says, I made more profit on Doge than any other coin, but I'd rather trade coins that actually represent business. I feel you on that, man. That's one of the reasons why I always miss, in the past, the Doge pumps. That's why I loaded up on some Doge, probably at the worst time. So now probably that I hold Doge, it won't pump. But look, Crypto Scarface says, don't underestimate the power of Elon and Doge. That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. You know, shout out to Quiet Alpha 89. God bless you. Happy New Year. Shout out to Nihilist UK Drum and Bass. Happy New Year to you as well, and may God bless you. Fat people are scared to eat fruit and eggs. Is that true? No beers late at night. Gotta have them early. Follow Jason for more future pointers. Sheesh. Yeah. Yeah, whoever invented water is the best, is amazing. XRP breaking out. Let's check it out. XRP also looking to see some nice market structure here. Market structure change going on. A little bit of bull div here. Money flow looking not so great on XRP. All right, the Bitcoin is, we're starting to see those 24-minute bearish divergences kind of play out here. All right, so we'll wait and see how this goes. Can you short now? Yeah. Look, this is not financial advice, but I would say based on the 24-minute red dot, bearish divergence, it's not a dumb short to take. But let's check out our risk to reward here. Let's check out our risk to reward. You know, it's not worth it if you're actually going for the first target of 89.3. If you think that we're going to come down to the POC, it's honestly not really even worth it unless you're closing the whole position here. So to close the whole position, it's a 2.7 to 1 risk reward. Come down to value area low. Now I'd say it's worth it. If you're going to wait for a 3.7% move for your TP1, take out at least half the trade, then it's a worth it short to take. Right? Because we already have almost a 1% move from the top there. And we do have support at 89.3. So it's totally up to you on how you view the trade. I'd say there is a valid short to be had based on the 24 and the 12. Please keep in mind that the higher time frames do look like more upside is possible after a retracement here. All right. 1 hour money flow looking really nice. Bullish CBD, you know, along the way up. So I feel like this is not necessarily going to be a big old swing trade. I'm looking at it more as a scalp, right? Avocado, 2 hard-boiled eggs, red onion, tomato, mix it together, the paste in the morning. Sounds good. I'd rather eat it separate, though. I do usually eat eggs in the morning, usually between 3 and 5. And some kind of avocado or olive oil, usually. Doesn't that water have corn syrup in it? Yes, if it's in the US, all water has corn syrup. For sure. For sure. Ran DMV says silver. Did I short the top or is that an old trade? I shorted the top. I haven't taken very many trades lately, guys. I have not taken many trades, really. This is the first trade I've taken in quite some time. I did take a trade today. Made 500 bucks real quick on a scalp short for this first move to the downside. I knew we were going to go for the high again. I just instinctually felt that. So then made 500 bucks and now I feel like we can come a little bit lower. I've already taken some profit out, but the reason why is because I accidentally put too much on the trade, so I de-risked it and ended up with this weird profit here. But yeah, so that's the deal. This is a fresh trade. First trade I've taken basically since December, the middle of December. The last trade I took before that was the long trade that we took on the 22nd of December. All right, that I gave in real time in the Casper crew that, you know, currently still in, baby. So we'll see what happens. I feel like we can get another move up. after some downside here. Let's see what happens. Again, our first target, I'd say, well, this is the 1 hour chart. We have a fair value gap that will be filled right here. So maybe we come down to 89,785. You know, this is also a place we can bounce from. But I like the hourly level right here at around 89.3. Let's go ahead and pull a fib from the low to the high. Yeah, beautiful. 89.3. That's a really nice level right there. 89.3 is a really nice level. Where's the safest place to put your crypto? Underground. Hide it in the woods. No giveaway today. Not today, man. Unless we can get 1,000 likes in 30 minutes, but we can't even get 800 likes in an hour. So, you know. The West is truly blessed. The West has been very blessed. The West has been very blessed, but the West is now losing its blessing, in the process of losing the blessing. But the West is still benefiting from past blessing. The West is still benefiting from past blessing. You know? The West is still benefiting from past blessing. I'm going to close out this other short trade that I took here just to lock in that money. This one, I'm going to let it ride and see what happens. The West is about to be cursed. I feel like the West is about to be released to its own desires. You know, like it talks about in Romans 1. God releases a society, a reprobate society, to its own desires. And the result is that bad things happen, basically. If you're not in a long, what would be a good spot and confirmation to have one? Well, I'd say for me, the places I would look would be, first of all, 89.3. Second of all, 87.8-ish. And then third of all, 86.8. Right? Honestly, those are the three places I'd be looking day trading-ish for, right now. I'd be looking for day trades from that area. Happy New Year's to everybody in here. Enough Bitcoin talk about Jesus in the Bible. I love Jesus. I love the Bible. What does work look like on the homestead in the winter? Looks like nothing, right? There's no work on the homestead. The only thing you gotta do is make sure the animals have food and water, and make sure that their water is not ice. The gardens are totally dead. Nothing's growing. I've ripped everything out. The ground is covered with landscape fabric, and there's compost underneath, and I'm waiting for the spring where I will plant all my vegetables once again. Can't wait for some fresh squash and all that stuff, you know. Coinbase chart just got a crazy wick on the 5-minute chart. Let's check it out. The West needs to realize gains. Honestly, I feel like the West is in a lot of debt. So I don't think there's any unrealized gains to be taken. Let's check out the Coinbase chart. Let's check out the 5-minute here. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. This could be a bottom. This could be a big bounce here based on the 5-minute chart. It's a good thing I took out that, closed that one short. Wow, that's a crazy wick. That is a crazy wick there. Every time I feel Bitcoin dominance is about to drop, nothing happens. Is this the one? Maybe, right? Maybe. You're starting your onion season next week. That's what's up. That's what's up. Major shout out to the super chat in the house. Brands dip. Can you look at SPX 6900? Yeah. Yeah, God bless you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, so what can we say about this? This is this the only, let me check. Let's put it on USDT. So we do have a nice, we didn't go for the low, not on MEXC. Not on Bitget either. Look, we have some bull divs on the daily. We've got a higher low. Unfortunately, we don't have any like big sign of strength here, right? Like this looked like a big sign of strength. If you think, like we did have some signs of strength here, right? We made a higher high here, we made a local higher high here, we made a local higher high here. So, you know, I'm not seeing anything different, so to speak. The daily looks decent on Market Cipher. The weekly looks pretty good on Market Cipher, I have to say. We have an anchor trigger formation there. The 4 hour looks pretty nice, but we didn't take liquidity, which sucks. And we're potentially going to form a bear div here. So yeah, I would say I don't like this. I don't like it. It makes it hard to get into the trade. I would much rather that we did this, right? That would have made it really nice, obvious bottom. So maybe we do that, right? Maybe we do that. That would be great. But assuming for some reason that the bottom is in, what would we want to look for on this? Well, we need to pull our fib from low to high, and I'd say I would be looking right around this area, the high volume node, between 48 and 50 cents for a higher low, but I'm not as convinced on this one as I would be on others. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Smells like a gym in here. Man, it smells like a gym in here, I'm telling you guys. I mean, where I am right now, it smells like a gross, dirty gym. You know? Smells like a gross, dirty gym. All right, guys. It's been a wonderful stream. Happy New Year to everybody, but I do need to head out. May the Lord bless you all. In Jesus' name, may He bless your year. May He bless your families. May He bless your trading and everything you set your hand to do. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.